Welcome back to Latin 3, Language, Power, and the State. We're going to be working on a 24-hour work cycle. So I'm going to release the assignment at 9 a.m., no sooner, no later. And then that's going to contain a Google Doc with a bit of Latin, some footnotes, some guides, tips, hints, and then some questions that you're supposed to fill out. Now, you should be able to put together a translation of the sentence or sentences that I post, but it might be a little too hard, so answer those questions as best you can. I might also post some Google quizzes that have answer keys, so they'll be infinity quizzes. Should be able to go through those, work them out, check the answer keys, go back as many times as you need to, and ultimately end up with 100% on those Google quizzes. And then I'm also going to include a video explanation, one of my little mini lessons of the sentence or sentences that I assign. So, with that said, this is the workflow that you should follow. You should take that Google Doc and try to make a rough draft of the solution. Try to attempt a translation. Definitely answer those questions. You might not be able to get them. If so, go to the Google quiz, run through those questions, check the answer keys, and then fill those in correctly. Once that's all done, and not until that's all done, watch the video explanation. And as you watch the video explanation, take some notes, then go back and produce a rough draft. Don't watch the video first, please. I beg of you, because I want you to exercise those Latin skills. In the afternoon, Monday through Friday, I'm going to have appointment slots in Google Calendar. I'll post the link to those slots in the assignments, and it's from 2 to 4. So you can sign up for a half hour anywhere in there to get some help, and I'll help you work on your homework. 9 a.m. the next day, you turn in the work, and then I'll, at the same time, be handing back work from 24 hours ago and assigning new work. So 9 a.m. is the big that's the revolving door where I return work, I assign work, and you hand in work. Each one of these assignments is going to be graded, but we'll skip one, just drop the lowest one. But it's going to be graded very lightly. It's going to be pretty easy work. You do not have to produce a perfect translation. It can be gobbledygook to you. But if you show me you're putting in the work, answering some of those questions, taking the infinity quiz, checking the answer keys, going back, getting 100%, if you show that you're putting in a good effort, even if you can't get the sentence, that's a B plus right there. If you can knock out that translation, A plus is what we're talking about. So do the work, hang in there. It's only going to be a sentence or two. It should be pretty light work. So now let's transition from process and talk about content. This is actually going to be a history class in Latin. We're still talking about 63 BCE. You know this is a very important year. This is the year of Marcus Tullius Cicero's consulship. This is the year that he gave his famous first Catilinarian oration. And this is the year of the conspiracy, the revolution to topple the Roman Republic after hundreds of years of dominance. Not the first time it was attempted, and it won't be the last time. In fact, in just a few years, a guy named Julius Caesar is going to attempt pretty much the same thing that Catiline's trying, and he's going to succeed, and Rome will become an empire. We're also going to be talking about slaves, particularly freed slaves that Catiline is trying to recruit for his army. Now, most of these slaves live in northern Italy, and it just so happens that Catiline has an army in northern Italy, in Etruria, in the Fauces, the jaws of Etruria, up in the mountains. That's going to be very important. And it won't be but 5 years later, in 58 BCE, that Julius Caesar marches off to Gaul to conquer Gaul and very much enrich himself and build a very effective army that is loyal to him and to him only. So Gaul is really an important factor. And in particular, a certain tribe by the name of the Allobroges. Don't forget that name, the Allobroges. We're going to see that word a few more times. And we're going to start talking about sources, using sources in history. Because up till now, you might just have been reading history in a history book, but this is very different. And you're going to be doing more of this in junior history and in your senior history courses. Sources are a really important part of history. You're going to be looking at Cicero, Sallust, and then we're going to take a peek at Wikipedia and see what sources they use in their article on Gaul. And then we're going to read a history book on the history of Rome, written in 2015 by Mary Beard, a very famous classicist, and see how her account of the Catilinarian conspiracy lines up with the sources that we've read. So this should be a very interesting sort of puzzle to put together. Let's take a look at Gaul now, which I said is very important. You can see right there, right above me, the Allobroges, little bit north of Italy, and Italy is, ooh, I'm a little bit in the way here. I wish I could, I'm going to zap myself out for a sec. You can see here, North Italy down here. This is the coast of southern France, and then it goes down into Italy. Here are the Allobroges right there, obviously. And you get this Transalpina. That's Gallia Transalpina. That means across the Alps. Over here is Gallia Cisalpina, which means on the near side of the Alps. And this is the part that Caesar called Provincia Nostra, our province, now called Provence. And so that's really part of the Roman Republic there. And yes, you guessed it, northern Italy down here, and that is where the slaves are, and the slave army, and Manlius, and that's exactly where Catiline is building up his power base. So Gaul was important to Catiline, and it was very important to Caesar. So that's the story here, Gallia. Now that's basically France, down here, Spain, and southern England here, and Belgium, and the Germans who gave the Romans a really hard time. So that's the setting.